my own conversion experience was so profound, and it really changed the direction of my life in such a profound way. And one of the things it did, it opened me to thinking, reflecting in new ways, and saying this has to be about more than just my quiet time, more than just me being involved in the mission program, because the world is this big and this sphere is this large. It's all about what does that really look like? And when I looked at the nature of who Jesus was and his calling upon our life, I felt like the conversion experience was an all conversion experience towards life. And specifically, what did that mean for me if I was going into business or any other practice I was about? I started down a path of reading, meeting with people and saying, if there's not this kind of integration, and it feels like to me that it's not consistent, it's not coherent, it's not organically connected. And I began to think a lot about kind of the connection of what we say why, how, and what in our lives. And then most of us aren't very coherent like that, and how can I pull those together? I began to think a great deal about vocation. And I began to reflect upon what I had seen in my life. And I went out and interviewed a lot of people and tried to interact with them and say, all these people seem to be living faithfully to me. They're doing it differently, so that means there's probably not a formula. In those days, there were probably less evangelicals who were oriented the way I was trying to think. Most of them talked in terms of business, which was I'll do really well in business and give away my money along the way. Or I'll be slightly kinder and gentler than other people in business. Or I'll be honest. And that was kind of description. There was not much theological reflection upon the nature of work and business and how you would think about where business fits in terms of what God's kind of vision for what human life and flourishing could be like. I began to reflect upon biblically what seems to be the sense of biblical understanding of calling. What are we being called to? And I remember writing and looking in the New Testament, looking at how the language was used. And so to use kind of Peter's language, we were called from darkness to light. So we'll call that the calling of salvation, all right? And then we're called to walk in his steps. So we'll call that sanctification. And then we're called to bless and do good, and all in Peter's letters, and seek shalom. We'll call it call of service. And I began to think in terms of, wow, vocation in the New Testament seems to hold together all three of these dimensions.